Hello, welcome to Reviews You Can Use. Today, I will be telling you everything you need to know and reviewing Eric Clapton's song, Tears in Heaven. Now, before we begin, make sure to hit that like and subscribe and hit that notify. So you don't miss any of my videos. Now, this song has a very interesting backstory, so let's get into the video. First of all, this song was never meant to be created, but it was the gruesome events that happened on March 20th, 1991 that changed everything. Eric Clapton has 4 daughters, Julie, Sophie, Ruth, and Ella, but he had one, and his only son Connor, who was born on August 21st, 1986 to him and Lori Del Santo, while being married to George Harrison's ex-wife, Patty Boyd. Yeah, best friend married your wife. Lori described Connor in her own words as an angel and loved listening to his father's songs and was wishing to becoming just like him. Whatever kind of job, profession, or person that Connor would become is unknown. Even though Eric and Lori split, they still share about what happened to their son. On March 20th, 1991, Connor Clapton died from a 53-story fall from a building where he was living with Lori. He was just 4 years old. Yeah, this song's existence was created from horrible tragedy. I just get sad or choked up when I hear about it. For a time, he went into exile, Eric Clapton, before writing the music for the 1991 film, Rush. Will Jennings, a singer who helped write the song, said in an interview, "Clapton said to me, I want to write a song about my boy. Eric had the first verse of the song written, which to me was the whole song. But he wanted me to write the rest of the verse lines. And the release, time can bring you down. Time can bend your knees. Even, in parentheses, because that's what he's talking about. Even though I told him that it was so personal, he should write everything himself. So he didn't want to write this because it was just so sad. This guy didn't want to write the rest of it. It was his. His son died. He didn't want him to write all of it. He wanted him to write it himself. He told me that he had admired the work I did with Steve Winwood, another famous musician, and finally, there was nothing else but to do as he requested, despite the sensitivity of the subject. This is a song so personal and so sad that it is my experience of writing songs. He said that in an interview. Clapton then said 2 years later, in a 1992 interview, "It was in the back of my head, but it didn't really have reason for being until I was scoring this movie." So it was only when he was scoring the film, writing the music for it, that he got the idea to do this song about Connor. Then it sort of had a reason. It is a little ambiguous because it should be taken to be about Connor, but it also has to be a part of the film. Now, I've not seen the film, but I could probably understand what is going on. People at home, if you've seen the film Rush, please tell me if you want me to review it. But because it was ambiguous, it was part of the film. So Eric Clapton also spoke in various interviews about saying that music was like his therapy, and it was like a healing, and it worked. Now, for the song itself, you may be wondering, it's beautiful and amazing. I'm not just saying that because of the backstory of how the song got written in the first place, but the lyrics add on to why it's a hit for Eric Clapton fans and regular music listeners, even if you're not a fan of Eric Clapton at all. One lyric that stood out to me is, "I must be strong and carry on, because I know I don't belong here in heaven." That line is important for Clapton because it's picking himself back up after what happened to his son, having to keep going when times get tough. But for us, it's the same. When we lose someone we love or care about, it's lines like these you know it's going to make you cry. The title of the song even gets you teary-eyed before even listening to it. And most of the song is like that. Not in a bad way, of course, but you could make connections to the song if you lost like a loved one. But in this case, it's terrible because Eric Clapton had a terrible tragedy happen to him. Other things I like about the song is that it has a comforting feel to it. I know it sounds weird to some, but the way the guitar and harp strings make you feel comfortable and the way Clapton plays, it shows. I even listened to his acoustic guitar version. Even that made me love the song more. I'll link to that in the description below. He played it live with his acoustic guitar. It was just awesome. I haven't seen him live, but when I heard that, I was just like, whoa, this is even gooder. The last thing I like about Tears in Heaven, I love it's not one of those corny sympathy songs that you hear from artists today with all the corny lyrics. I hate that. It destroys what made songs like this and other hits like You've Got a Friend by James Taylor, If You Could Read My Mind by Gordon Lightfoot, Vincent by Don McLean, Man in the Mirror by Michael Jackson, and What I've Done by Linkin Park. It destroys what make these popular. In the end, Tears in Heaven is an emotional, sympathy, and tear-dropping song that will be good 4 minutes and 36 seconds of your time. Not wasted at all. Believe me when I say that. After the death of Connor Clapton, it created awareness for children's safety. Yeah, this was a big story on the news. My dad remembers this happening. When he heard about it, he was shocked that something like this happened to a child. Eric Clapton said in an interview, children's safety, use guards on windows, on gates, on stairs. It's an easy and it could prevent a terrible tragedy. Trust me, I know. So Connor Clapton's death helped make children's safety more important. But to this day, Eric Clapton still performs this song live. So he has to relive the events that he went through when a 4-year-old child's death impacts a song and having to perform it live because it was a big hit. Like, come on, I can't even say the words because it's just can't believe that it's happened. It's messed up. It's messed up that this happened to this kid. And why he wrote the song in the first place. I know singers use like real events that happen to them, like tragedies for songs, but this is the worst tragedy I've ever seen for a song. This is the worst. The worst tragedy in a song. That's messed up, dude. So that is the aftermath of Connor Clapton's death, so it helped our children's safety, and that's why you see so many children's safety signs everywhere. So children at home, if you're wondering why there's so many children's signs everywhere, there you go. That is all for today on Reviews You Can Use. Hope you enjoyed the video. This video was hard to make, of course, because of what happened to Connor Clapton, but in the end, it's worth it. Don't think I'm trying to profit off this kid's death. This was a terrible tragedy, and hopefully nothing like this will ever happen again. But in the end, I hope you enjoyed the video, and please go listen to Eric Clapton's music. You won't regret it. If you can, check out my Keith Urban reaction right up here. If you want to check my worst singer of all time, you can check that right up here. My bad. That is all for today on Reviews You Can Use. I will see you in the next video. So, sayonara.
I'm Eric Clapton. I need to talk to parents about how many kids are injured and even killed by falls. Each year in this country, nearly 100,000 kids are hospitalized because of falls. Here's how parents can help keep their kids safe. There are 2 simple things you can do. Use guards on windows and safety gates on stairs. It's easy and it could prevent a terrible tragedy. Believe me, I know.